Good day once again. So we're back for the continuation of the discussion that we had on CFLM1. No? So ituloy natin hanggang matapos yung subject na ito so that we can proceed to CFLM2. Okay? So on the past video, we discussed already the etymology of characteristics and the different Filipino traits, positive and both negative. So, kung hindi nyo pa napapanood yung lecture natin doon, balikan nyo lang sa previous discussion natin. Okay? So, for today's topic, we're going to discuss the Filipino character and personality, the three main trait underscoring the Filipino values. So, ang ating kasing Filipino values or ang ating character traits as Filipino, no, meron siyang commonality, no, or meron yung kumbaga is makikita natin na common ground, no, ng ating pagka-Pilipino. So, ito yung masasabi natin that this is somewhat unique, no, very unique to us. Okay, as the very unique characteristics or traits of a Filipino that we can proudly say it's very Filipino. Okay, so let's start with the number one. We have their personalism. Now, we know this, that Filipino values interpersonal relationship. What do we mean by Filipino values interpersonal relationship? No, most of us kasi wants usually a face-to-face interaction. Now, whether that is like showing how we care, kung paano natin pahalagahan yung isang tao, no? It really matters most if we are going to show that face-to-face. No? Like, ngayon, very virtual na tayo, no? Say, for example, this one. Yung advent of modernization, like we have video call, we have chat, text messages, meron pa rin ba? No? So kung meron pa, we have messenger chat, no, phone calls and so on and so forth, and so on. So tayo, no, though we already adopted to that kind of interaction, pero mas prefer pa rin ng most of Filipinos yung tinatawag nating interpersonal relationship. Yung nakikita mo talaga yung kausap mo, no? Yung sincerity, no? Yung sincerity ng isang tao, nakikita natin siya or mas binavalue or mas pinapahalagahan natin yung mga sinasabi niya once that we are talking with them face to face, 'di ba? Say for example, products, 'di ba? Pag magbenta sila, pagbentahan ka ng isang products or whatsoever, no? Medyo hindi tayo nagtitiwala minsan kapag yan ay digital lang. Kung baga hindi natin nakikita kung sino yung kausap natin, hindi natin nakikita kung sino yung pagbibilhan natin, 'di ba? Something like that. So nandun talaga lumalabas yung character traits natin as to personalism, kung saan we want a more interpersonal relationship being a Filipino. Okay? So another thing is we have the so-called familialism, no? Familialism. Filipinos are family oriented, no doubt about this one, no? Indeed, we are very family-oriented. Ibig sabihin that among all, no, we value our relationship with our family, no? Characterized by, tignan mo, yung mga goals natin minsan are not geared towards our own benefits. Like, bakit ka nag-aaral? Para matulungan mo yung pamilya mo. Bakit ka nagnenegosyo? Para makatulong ka sa pamilya mo or para mabigyan ng magandang buhay yung pamilya mo. So it's all about the family. Everything like everything we do is all about the family that we have, no? So doon lumalabas yung concept ng tinatawag nating familiarism. And if you can remember in the past discussions that we had, no, sinabi natin that strong family ties yung isa sa good characteristics that we have as Filipino. No? And true enough, talagang meron naman. We do really practice yung family first na tinatawag natin. No? So, our decisions in life are affected by the perceptions of our own family. Our goals are likely aligned to the advancement or to the benefit of our family. So, yun yung tinatawag natin, familialism. And we have also the particularism. No? So, ito naman yung parang drawback, kumbaga, ng pagiging pagiging family-oriented natin. That once we fail, once we fail or succeed in life, it is always attributed to our family. Di ba? Kung halimbawa, you succeed in your career, naging successful ka doon sa career mo na pinili mo, it will be attributed to your family. Sasabihin ng karamihan, hindi kasi galing siya sa pamilyang ganito, galing siya sa pamilya ng, for example, naging pulis ka. Okay? The thinking there is that hindi kasi galing siya sa pamilya ng mga pulis. Diba? It is always attributed to your family. Kung naging teacher ka, hindi kasi yung nanay at tatay niya teacher, so sigurado magiging teacher din yan. So, nandun din yung expectation, ano? Like for example, police yung tatay mo, police yung nanay mo, ikaw na anak, expected, magiging police ka. Okay? Yun yung, kumbaga, is yung reverse niya. No? The negative thing about that is when you are being judged already, ayun na nga, di ba? You are being judged or you are being your option are being limited based on the background of your family. Yeah? Parang halimbawa, porket pulis nga yung magulang mo, yung option nilang na meron sa'yo, as determined by the society or as mandated by the society that you have is maging pulis din. So, nalimit na yung option mo because of your family. Though, there are instances that syempre hindi naman porket pulis yung magulang, gusto rin nilang maging pulis yung anak. No? Pero yung perspective kasi ng society natin is that ganito ka dapat kasi ganito yung parents. Di ba? So it's good and bad in the sense that they're limiting your option if ikaw yung next generation. Di ba? What about if we relate that into negative family identity? Like for example, your parents hindi nakapagtapos or lasenggo, sugarol, or whatsoever, no? So, you will be judged also based on your current family. Based on how they perceive your family is, di ba? So, sasabihin, ay hindi yan makakapagtapos na magiging lasenggo yan, magiging sugarol din yan kasi yung magulang niya ganito, magiging drug addict din yan kasi magulang niya ganito, magiging criminal yan kasi mga magulang niya is criminal. No? That's particularism, no? Every behavior that we display is being attributed to what kind of family we were raised. No? So this kind of particularism is not really, it's not really baseless. No? It's not baseless in the sense that in the field of criminal behavior, family environment and genetics really plays a big part onto the behavior of their children. So, merong science behind, di ba? Kumbaga is meron namang pinanghuhugutan. But then again, hindi dapat tayo agad-agad mag-judge or i-prejudge natin yung isang tao, no? Just because this is the kind of the family that he was raised at. Parang mali din kasi yun. No? I think, though it is scientifically backed up, meron siyang scientific basis. But still, hindi dapat talaga natin siya gawing basihan to the point that we are already judging the person, no? Kahit na hindi pa naman siya totally nagiging ganun, no? So, yan yung isa na argument natin with regards to the concept of particularism, no? Okay, so those are the three Filipino character or personality that are considered as common to Filipino values. No? We have, again, personalism, our fond of interpersonal relationship, no? Yung familialism, no? Which is characterized by being family-oriented. Then we have also particularism, no? Wherein our behavior is prejudged by the kind of family we were raised. Okay. Hi guys, flex ko lang itong gamit kong earpods. It's Bavin 19. Ito yung kanyang audio quality. Napakaganda. Very affordable. Merong link doon sa ating description. Check out mo na yan. Now, let's talk about the Filipino values orientation. What is all about the Filipino values orientation? No? When we say values orientation, kasi we're referring how a certain behavior is developed. No? And with regards to behavior, o sige, values na lang, kasi we're talking values orientation. When we talk about values orientation, we're referring on how to values are developed. Paano na-develop yung values natin. Diba? Meron tayong mga core values as Filipino, diba? Meron tayong mga core values. Pero ang tanong, paano nga ba siya na-develop? Yun yung sa values orientation. Remember that our values, were developed the same as how we develop the character that we have. No? Kung paano natin na-develop yung ating character, ganun din po kung paano natin na-develop yung ating values. Now, why is it important to understand how our values is developed? Because values really, yung values na meron tayo as a human being will now serve as a guiding principle in everything you do. No, like for example, decision making, how you decide a certain thing. No? Meron sa atin is very kumbaga is masyadong maingat tayo pagdating sa pagbibigay or paggawa ng decision. Meron naman sa atin bara-bara. So bakit magkakaiba? It is because the factor affecting how we decide is our values. Ano bang values ang meron tayo? Diba? Values also affect our interaction with others. Diba? Meron sa atin is, kumbaga, people-oriented, marunong makibagay, magaling makibagay, marunong makisama. Meron naman yung mga, alam mo na, sasabihin na, mata pobre yan, masungit yan, ay isnabero yan, or whatsoever. So, different interaction of different people are caused by the kind of values that they have. Diba? Yung values kasi nila, yun yung nakaka-apekto kung paano sila mag-behave. Kung paano yung character nila at paano yung personality na meron sila. So it does influence our behavior, attitudes, and choices. Yan yung tinatawag nating significance of values orientation or significance of values to our life. So it's very important. Okay, so now, as we have stated, we have the so-called Filipino values. Ano ba yung mga Filipino values natin? We have here the different Filipino values that is expected. Kung ikaw ay Filipino, expected na meron ka nito. Kaya kung titignan mo, bakit ba hospitable ang mga Filipino? Bakit kaya very generous ang mga Filipino? bakit kaya very hardworking ang mga Filipino? So, you go to their core values. Tingnan mo kung ano bang merong values ang mga Filipino. No? At yung mga values na yon, yan yung i-discuss natin. Ano ba yung mga values na meron tayo? Ano ba yung common values na meron tayo as being Filipino? No? So, we behave like that. Diba? Ano ba ang values na meron ang mga Pilipino kung bakit sila generous? Kung bakit sila hospitable? Bakit sila honest? Okay? So, we have the following values. If you're a Filipino, it is expected that you know how to show empathy. So, we call that pakikiramay. Marunong ka makiramay. Now, pag sinabi nating makiramay, yan yung kumbaga is you are giving unsolicited help. Yung kumbaga kahit hindi ka naman hinihingan ng tulong, di ba? Nagbibigay ka ng tulong or nakikisimpatya ka, no? Like for example, hindi naman sila nanghihingi ng dasal, but instead you pray for them. That's pakikiramay. Now, if you see somebody struggling, nahihirapan siya sa buhay, no, dinadamayan mo siya. Like for example, kino-comfort mo siya. Kahit hindi naman siya nanghihingi ng any comfort from you, no? Yan yung pakikiramay. So if you're a Filipino, it is expected that you know how to show empathy. Di ba? So, automatic dapat pag Filipino ka, marunong ka makiramay. No, hindi naman natin sinasabi na pag hindi ka marunong makiramay, you're not Filipino. But then, these are the values that are very common to us Filipino. Next is the so-called pakikisama. No? Pakikisama or fellowship. Pakikisama is a good thing and a bad thing sometimes that, when we do not agree with somebody, pag hindi natin gusto yung ugali niya, we're not frank about it. Diba? Kumbaga, hindi natin sinasabing, uy, ayoko sa'yo. No? Ayoko kitang kausap. Ayoko kitang kasama. Diba? May mga ilan lang siguro na prangka. Marami na rin tayong kilalang ganun. Pag ayaw nilang isang tao, they would tell. No, at least they are honest. No, sabihin nila, hindi, ayoko sa taong yan. In their face, ayoko sa inyo. No, kasi ganito ugali mo, something like that. So, but then, if you're a Filipino, it is expected that you know how to makisama. Diba? Kahit hindi mo gusto yung tao, no, kahit naaasar ka or galit ka doon sa isang tao, pinapakisamahan mo pa rin siya for the sake of, pakikisama. No? Ayaw natin ng argument, kaya instead of correcting, no, yung pananaw ng isang tao, kung feeling natin is mali, hindi natin tinatama kasi parang hindi, pakikisama ko na lang yun sa kanya. Kung may mali siyang ginagawa, we do not correct them. Di ba? We don't correct them. Instead, sasabihin natin, makibagay na lang tayo, makisama na lang tayo, or pakikisama na lang. So, it's a good thing and a bad thing. If you realize the good thing about that is that because if you know the good thing about that is, kumbaga is, syempre, hindi tayo makakasakit ng damdamin. But the bad thing is that, hindi natin nabibigyan ng constructive criticism yung iba. So instead of giving constructive criticism, makatulong sana sa kanya to grow, no? Mas pinipili na lang nating wag sabihin kasi baka mamaya is ma-offend or baka mamaya iba yung isipin niya, something like that. So yun yung pakikisama. Now, it is expected, again, if you're Filipino. Next, bayanihan. Ayan. So, for a fact what is bayanihan, di ba? Elementary pa lang tinuturo na sa atin what is bayanihan. Bayanihan is rendering service without expecting compensation, like we provide free service, assistance, like that. Like for example, merong isang tao na nangangailangan ng tulong. Though hindi ka naman tinawag, pero tumulong ka na rin. And then, wala kang hinihinging kapalit. Kumbaga is para kang robot na automatic na na-trigger. Automatic kang na-trigger pag may nakikita kang taong kailangan ng tulong, di ba? Tinuturo kasi yan sa atin mula pagkabata. Like for example, Filipino values. Pag may nakita kang matanda, nahirap tumawid sa kalsada, ano ang itunuturo sa atin? Tulungan mo. No? Tulungan mo. And then, wala kang hihinging kapalit. Yun yung concept ng bayanihan. Diba? Bayanihan, providing free service without expectation. No? Pero, yeah, it should be without expectation to call it really a bayanihan. Kasi kung meron naman, like for example, sige, tulungan kita ngayon, baka sakaling matulungan mo din ako in the future, hindi na yung bayanihan. Nawawala na yung essence ng bayanihan doon. Diba? Kasi the essence of bayanihan is that you provide help, you provide assistance without expecting any compensation in return. Okay? So that is bayanihan. Then we have respect, or what we call galang or paggalang. Diba? As Filipinos, we are known to be respectful. No? So anyway, as early as elementary, no, tinuturo na sa atin yung basic respect, like yung paggamit ng po at opo, no, yung pagmamano, no, yung paggamit ng tamang pag-salutation, paggamit ng tamang salutation sa ating mga elders, like kung kuya, you should say kuya, kung tita, tita, no? Dapat tama yung mga natin. Tama kumbaga yung ginagamit nating salutation sa isang tao, no? That's a show of respect, di ba? Tinuturo yan sa atin at early age, yung pagmamano, no, gamit ng po at opo, no, yung paggamit ng tamang salutation, something like that. So those are all under galang or respect, no, which is part of the so-called Filipino values orientation. Okay, so those are the some of the values orientation that we have that affects how we behave as Filipino. Diba? So, if we could maintain practicing yung pakikiramay, pakikisama, bayanihan, yung paggalang, and so on, we are living the true Filipino character. Diba? We're living the true Filipino values. Okay? So, that's the importance of that. No? Ito yung nagiging key factor kasi on how we behave. Diba? Nakakatawa ang isipin minsan na some criminals. No? Some criminals avoid victimizing elders. Diba? Bakit? Because maybe naawa sila or they are showing respect. No? They're showing respect to the elders. So, even those who are committing crime often still retain some of the values that they have. Now, yun nga lang, ginagamit sa mali or ginagamit sa maling pamamaraan. Like for example, yung pakikisama nila is iba na, no? Sa criminality na nila ina-apply sa gang, sa brotherhood na nila ina-apply yung mga values nila. So, minsan, depende kung saan natin ginagamit. We just do not practice itong mga Filipino values na to, but we should also make sure that those values are indeed used for legal, no, acceptable ways. Okay? Next, we have the key theories of character formation. So you might be asking, why do we have this character? Diba sinabi natin kanina, why do we have this character? Bakit tayong Filipino, ganito yung character natin? Bakit sa iba yung kanilang character? Or even, tayo mismo, ako Pilipino, ikaw Pilipino din, magkaiba pa rin tayo ng character. Magkaiba tayo ng behavior, magkaiba tayo ng values, and so on. So, there are different factors that indeed affects how our character is formed. No, marami yan. Okay, let's start with Freud's stage of psychosexual development. Di ba? Ito na sa psychology na tayo. According to Simon Freud, no, our character development or our behavior is highly influenced by the following stages. No? Andyan yung tinatawag nating oral, we have the anal, and we have the phallic, and we have genital stage. No? So according to Simon Freud, no, yung oral phase natin is doon tayo nagkakaroon or doon natin madedevelop yung either we develop a trusting behavior or we develop an aggressive behavior. No? It says there that if, for example, underfed yung bata during oral stage is, ang nade-develop niya is oral passive and trusting behavior. No, kung overfed naman yung bata during oral stage is nakaka-develop siya ng aggressive and dominating behavior. No? Anal is we have also ang involved na dito is yung sa anal stage is nandoon na siya kumbaga sa tinatawag nating toilet training. No, I don't know how young is that, gaano kabata yan. Siguro 1 year old, something like that. You can refer to the more specific presentation of Simon Freud psychosexual development, no? Pero under anal, no, if too harsh ang treatment natin sa mga bata during their toilet training, na magkakaroon sila ng behavior that is tidiness, obsessiveness, mean, or stubborn. Diba? Kasi nga, too harsh eh. Yun yung treatment mo sa kanila. No? Malinis sila sa katawan kasi talagang tinuruan mo sila properly nung sila ay nasa stage na yan. No? Kung tulaks naman, hinahayaan mo lang yung bata, no? Kung saan siya dumumi, something like that. So, ang magiging effect naman yan sa kanyang behavior is either untidiness, and generosity kasi nga, syempre, hindi naman tayo naging strict ng pagkabata. Point here is that, ang point natin dito sa psychosexual development is that all the experiences of the child as he is growing, no, lahat ng experiences ng bata habang siya ay lumalaki will affect the kind of behavior he will develop when he grow older. Yun yung point niya. No? Yun yung point ni Simon Freud. Okay, that we have different behaviors because we have different childhood experiences. Diba? Your behavior is not the same as to my behavior. We have different behavior because my experiences is different from your experiences when you're growing up. Diba? Yun yung point niya. Okay? We have also yung Freud's structural model of personality. We have yung tripartite of human personality. We have the id, ego, and superego. I'm sure this is not the first time you're hearing about id, ego, and superego kasi in criminal behavior, we always discuss and blame the faulty development of id, ego, and superego to criminal behavior. Now, what we need to remember here is that at birth, we have the id. Then, as we grow up and comes to more realistic experiences, we develop ego. And our superego are developed on how we learn moralities, social values. Yun yung nagiging part ng conscience natin. So, a healthy development of the id, ego, and superego will result into a healthy behavior. Yun yung concept niya. Ngayon, kung may faulty, like for example, you don't have superego, hindi mo na-develop yung superego mo, magkakaroon ka dyan ng abnormal behavior, which is linked to criminal behavior. Or, pwede rin na hindi mo, or underdeveloped, ganun din eh. Either na hindi mo na-develop si superego or underdevelop ang yung superego, you will display abnormal behavior. Okay? kung hindi mo na-develop si ego, automatic kasi hindi mo rin ma-develop si super ego. Kasi, ano yan eh, the process of the development is a stage by stage yan. Hindi pwedeng ang isang tao is may id and super ego lang, walang ego. Hindi pwede. Kasi it's a process. Like, id is present at birth. No? Pagkapanganak pa lang, nandiyan na yan. Ito yung mga instinctive desires natin. Like, for example, desire for comfort, no? Desire for comfort. No, we need to eat. Yung mga yan. Part of the id yan eh. No? Then, denial of the accomplishment of the id. Like for example, your desire for comfort. If you deny that, no, or if the child experiences denial of his wants, no, he will develop the concept of super ego, the concept of ego, no. Doon siya magkakaroon ng realization na hindi lahat ng gusto niya is makukuha niya, or hindi lahat ng naisin niya is maibibigay agad-agad sa kanya. So doon ma-develop yung concept ng reality na okay, this is life. Yan. So without id, ego will not develop. No? But then again, id is not a problem because it is present at birth. Hindi kailangang i-develop yan. It is present at birth. Yun nga lang, ego, no, on the other hand, will not be developed unless magka-experience ng denial, no, of his wants and needs yung bata early on his life. So, hindi yan ma-develop kung walang mangyaring ganang experience. Kaya nga, hindi rin tama. No? As parent, or sa mga parent, hindi rin tama na lahat ng gusto ng ating mga anak is ibigay natin. Kasi hindi ma-develop yung ego, hindi ma-develop yung concept ng reality, or magkakaroon yung anak natin ng tinatawag nating unrealistic expectation. Diba? Kung sinanay mo yung anak mo, na lahat ng gusto niya, hinihingi niya sa'yo is na i-provide mo. No? Magkakaroon siya ngayon ng unrealistic expectation sa mga tao maliban sa'yo. Okay lang sana, no? Kung you as a parent, na provide mo lahat ng needs ng anak mo is nandyan ka forever. Diba? Pero the reality is that mauna tayong mamatay as a parent. So, who will take care of our children if we are no longer there? Who will provide their needs? No? Yung pag-spoil mo sa kanya, hahanapin niya yan sa ibang tao. No? And as you know, no, we don't, or the people outside our family does not love our children the way we love them. So, hindi niya ma-meet ngayon yung ano na yun, yung expectation niya na lahat ng gusto niya makukuha niya. So, it's a faulty behavior, no? Kaya minsan, turuan din natin yung mga anak natin of behaving realistically. Kasi baka mamaya is, kumbaga, spoil sa'yo yung anak mo, pero paano naman paglabas niya, walang mag-spoil sa kanya. So, magkakaroon siya ng unrealistic goal, no? At pwedeng maging dahilan pa yun para mag-develop siya ng abnormal behavior. Okay, so, again, if for example, underdeveloped yung ego, or ego was not developed, automatic super ego will not also be developed. Diba? So, bago natin turuan ng magandang asal yung anak natin, turuan muna natin sila on how to be realistic. Paano talaga yung realidad. Kaya yan yung ituro natin. Kaya hindi pwedeng conscience, morality, and values muna, pero hindi mo naman itinuro sa anak mo yung reality of life. Diba? Kasi baka mamaya, ang ituro mo sa kanya is wala kang tinuro. So how can he develop super ego without developing first the ego? Okay? Now, according to this structural model of personality by Simon Freud, a faulty development of either one of these tripartite of personality will cause into abnormal behavior. So, tandaan po natin yan. Okay? Next is we have Erik Erikson. no? Erickson's stage of psychosocial development, iba naman po yun sa kanya, no? But the same concept as Simon Freud, no? Wherein childhood experiences causes different behavior, no? Causes the development of different behavior among different individuals. So under his stages of psychosocial development, nandiyan yung stage 1, stage 2, up to stage 8. So at least dito na-specify natin na yung age bracket nila. So for example, stage 1, hindi ko na-discuss ng buo. Stage 1, from birth to 1 year, no? Ang pwedeng ma-develop ng bata dyan is either trust versus mistrust. If you provide the needs of the child, no? Birth to 1 year, if you're able to provide the needs of the child, like for example, iyak-iyak yung bata, syempre, no, gutom yan, or uncomfortable yan, no, kaya siya umiiyak. Ngayon, if you're able to provide yung needs niya, like food, or care, or attention, something like that, ang ma-develop niya dyan is yung tinatawag natin trust, no? So, he will grow up as a trusting individual, no, may tiwala sa kapwa niya. Pero kung halimbawa, no, from birth to 1 year, sometimes is nalilipasan ng gutom yung bata, no, iyak ng iyak, walang atensyong nakukuha sa kanyang parents, no, the child will develop the so-called mistrust, no, so he will be, ayan, yun yung mga mahirap magtiwala ng mga tao, no, so that is developed during this stage 1. Stage 2, autonomy versus shame and doubt. Stage 3, initiative versus guilt, and so on, until 65 years old to death, which is integrity versus despair. Okay, I think I'm just going to discuss a separate, maybe I will provide a separate discussion to this kasi mahaba-habang discussion niya. Pero yan yung concept niya. Lahat ng behavior na meron tayo, whether there is trust, mistrust, autonomy, shame, or doubt, initiative, industry, or inferiority are developed, no, separately among the different stages of life of human beings. So, tingnan mo what behavior ang meron ka. Say, for example, you have inferiority. No? Bakit kaya ako may inferiority? Maybe because you have experienced something during your, or during stage 4, 6 to 11 years old, no? Baka lagi kang binubulyawan, diba? Baka lagi kang pinapahiya pag may gusto kang itry. Kaya instead na developing industry, ang na-develop is the sense of inferiority, diba? Kasi alam mo pag 6 to 11, no? 6 to 11. Siguro, for example, sa inyo as a student, meron sa inyo dyan yung mga takot na takot mag-recite. Takot na takot mag-recite. Takot na takot maging leader. Why is that? That is kind of inferiority on your part. Parang inferiority yun. Bakit kaya ganon? Let's look back, no, to your childhood experience. What happened during your 6 to 11 years old? Anong nangyari? Nasaan ka nun? 6 to 11, I believe, elementary days. Yeah? Elementary days yan. What happened during those years? No? Meron bang point doon na kung saan is nag-try ka na maging leader pero pinahiya ka? Either pinahiya ka ng teacher mo or pinahiya ka ng mga kaklase mo? Meron bang time doon na kung saan is nag-try kang mag-recite or whatsoever pero napahiya ka? No? All of these things contributed to the kind of behavior that you have right now. Diba? Yung mga childhood traumas and childhood experiences natin kasi has an impact to the kind of behavior that we have right now as an adult. Okay? So, you need to, if you want to heal, sabi nga nila, di ba? Marami, yung term natin yun ang nauso, I'm just healing my inner child. So, yung childhood trauma natin, to improve the kind of behavior that you have right now, whether you have inferiority problem, no? You need to go back to your memory. You need to go back to your experiences and you need to accept, diba? You need to accept that it happens and you need to validate that you can, no, that should not had happened, something like that. So that's the so-called healing your childhood trauma. The kind of behavior that we have right now are result of our childhood trauma. Yan yung pinopoint out ng different psychologists as to the different stages of psychosocial development. So different experiences, different results. Okay? So, I guess since sumaba na masyadong ating discussion, we will be discussing the next part, no? So antabayanan niyo lang, no? So sa mga hindi pa nakapag-subscribe, subscribe. Now we'll continue uploading lectures pertaining to the subjects CFLM 1 and 2, no? And after CFLM 1 and 2, no, we will be discussing another subject that is and still under the curriculum of criminology. So I hope I was able to impart my knowledge with regards to the discussion that we had, and I hope you did enjoy our discussion. So if you want more, you subscribe, click like, and share our videos para marami pa tayong matulungan na iba. So that's it for today's lecture. No? See you on the next video. Bye-bye. Hi guys, flex ko lang itong gamit kong earpods. It's Bavin 19. Ito yung kanyang audio quality. Napakaganda. Very affordable. Merong link doon sa ating description. Check out mo na yan.